Chapter 41, The Clone Steals the Treasure. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Not long ago, the anxious Zhao Wentian had no intention of practicing at all, so he simply stopped practicing. He concealed his aura and sat in the study, waiting for Wang Xuanwu's arrival. Sure enough, are you still here? After Zhao Wentian sensed Wang Xuanwu approaching sneakily, black lines appeared on his forehead, 10,000 grass and mud horses were galloping in his heart. He knew without thinking that Wang Xuanwu was coming to pick his wool again. Humph, I am sitting here, watching you steal my things. Zhao asked about the weather and stared at the door while blowing his beard. As a result, the door was not opened, but the window was opened. When Zhao Wentian saw this rhythm, he knew that his guess was right this time. Wang Xuanwu planned to come quietly and then leave quietly. Wang Xuanwu. Zhao Wentian looked at Wang Xuanwu who had sneaked in. She was carefully closing the window. Suddenly, an angry voice came from behind. Wang Xuanwu was startled, and quickly turned around, patted her body as tall as a mountain, and said with a flattering smile, "Senior brother, where are you? Why didn't I notice you? What do you think?" "Hee, senior brother, I didn't expect you to also like hide and seek. Now that I've caught you, you go out and it's my turn to find a place to hide." "Nima, Wang Xuanwu, do you think my IQ is up to you?" "Ah, no, senior brother, you don't know how high my mother's IQ is." After saying that, Wang Xuanwu looked at Zhao Wentian pitifully and said, "I have been an orphan since I was a child. No. I know my biological parents, so I don't know how to answer what you say." Wang Xuanwu said as he approached. "Stop." Zhao Wentian quickly stopped Wang Xuanwu to prevent her from getting close to him. "Oh, senior brother, don't be so fierce. You're so scared. The day before yesterday, you said that I haven't grown up yet, so you scared the baby so quickly. What should I do if the baby is frightened? Don't you fucking give me all the things I have and don't have. It's just you, give me back the baby, and get out of here." "Wow, the sect leader is a big bad guy." Wang Xuanwu suddenly collapsed on the ground like a weak woman, looking like she was crying, which made me feel pity for her, but Zhao Wentian had suffered too much from this move and was immune to it, so he simply ignored it. "Tell me, what are you doing here this time?" "Senior brother, you are so kind. I want to prepare a set of Jindan realm equipment and weapons for my disciple." "Hurry, give them to me." "I fucking believe you, are you going to exchange these for drink money?" "Oh." When Wang Xuanwu heard what Zhao Wentian said, he suddenly stretched out his little finger, put it to his mouth and bit it lightly, saying, "Hey, this is a good idea, why didn't I think of it?" Wang Xuanwu. Zhao Wentian's body immediately exuded a terrifying aura. Wang Xuanwu was startled and said, No, senior brother, you misunderstood me this time. That's what you said last time." Zhao Wentian's terrifying aura showed no sign of dissipating. At this time, the disciples outside also felt Zhao Wentian's terrifying aura, and they all started to tremble. "Mamma mia, the fifth elder must be here again. Damn it, I was scared to death by the sect leader." The disciples standing outside were about to cry but had no tears. Wang Xuanwu in the room was stunned after hearing this, and said seriously, "Brother, this time is different, I'm serious. You said the same thing last time." Is there one?" Wang Xuanwu thought. "Get out of here before I have the urge to kill you," Zhao Wentian roared. Wang Xuanwu felt that the sound was too loud, so she dug her ears, waved her hands, and said, Okay, you are such a big person, and you still have such a big temper, be careful not to get mad to death. Don't worry, as long as you get away, I think I can still save him," Zhao Wentian said with a gloomy face. At the same time, Wang Xuanwu felt that he was on the verge of breaking out. "Brother, take care." Wang Xuanwu quickly fled the scene and disappeared in front of Zhao Wentian. After Wang Xuanwu left, the terrifying aura on Zhao Wentian dissipated. At the same time, he took a deep breath to calm down his depressed mood. At this time, he felt something was wrong again. Strange, why is the fifth junior sister so good this time? If it were normal, he would never compromise so easily if he wasn't so angry that he was half dead. as for the terrifying aura she just exuded, it didn't have much effect on her at all. After all, Wang Xuanwu was too determined to be afraid of any threats. At this time, Zhao Wentian was very depressed and couldn't figure out what went wrong. Why? Zhao Wentian sighed softly, but unknown to him, the anxiety in his heart still did not dissipate. With this thought, he dispersed his spiritual consciousness and sensed the surrounding situation, and on a cliff of Xiantian Peak, Wang Xuanwu suddenly appeared. "My lord, the mission is accomplished." That Wang Xuanwu handed a ring to Wang Xuanwu. "Okay, let's go." Afterwards, Wang Xuanwu took back his clone, took the things and flew away. At this time, Zhao Wentian finally discovered the problem. Ah! Zhao Wentian realized that he was still young and cursed angrily, "Damn Wang Xuanwu, you are staring at me, but you let your clone steal my things, damn it." Zhao Wenxian stood up quickly as he blew his beard and stared. Just now she said to equip her apprentice with weapons and equipment of the Golden Core realm, right? Not good. The sect treasury. Zhao Wentian was startled and hurried to the sect treasury, where he saw two elders tied up and stuffed with cloth. When the two elders saw him coming, they shed tears of excitement. "Sect master, you are finally here." Wang Xuanwu did it. The two elders nodded quickly. Zhao Wentian's forehead was full of black lines, and he rescued the two elders. "Go to the treasury and see if anything is missing." "Yes, sect master." The two elders felt bitter in their hearts. Wang Xuanwu suddenly appeared and beat them up. After knocking them down, he tied them up, and stuffed cloth into their mouths to prevent them from screaming. Afterwards, they all walked in nervously and looked inside to see if there was anything missing. As a result, he breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, not too many things are missing. "Master, one set of Jindan level equipment and weapons is missing, but the rest are all there." The corners of Zhao Wentian's mouth twitched. "Fortunately, you really only took one set of Jindan level weapons and equipment." "No. Why am I so lucky?" Zhao Wentian suddenly realized and rushed out. In Xiantian Peak, Zhao Wentian roared angrily, "Wang Xuanwu, you stinky bitch, stop right there. You keep taking advantage of me, why don't you go take advantage of others?" Chapter 42 Exchange for a Ghost Mask. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Taishan. When Li Taihang arrived at Lin Taishan, he saw the gatekeepers here and explained his purpose to them. "You said, you are Li Taihang, the disciple of the fifth elder." The gatekeepers were a little surprised when they heard Li Taihang's self-introduction. "Yes, senior brother." After getting Li Taihang's affirmation, the gatekeepers looked at each other, and one of them asked in surprise, "Why did you come to our sect?" "I want to visit the third elder." "No need, our master will not see you, you should go back." Based on Wang Xuanwu's circle of friends in Xiantian sect, it is estimated that only the sect leader Zhao Wentian and the seventh elder Zhu Qing can still stand up. Which of the other elders will not go around when they see her? As for Wang Xuanwu's apprentice, he didn't take it seriously. Therefore, the gatekeepers didn't want to solve the bad luck of the third elder, so as not to be scolded if something unexpected happened. "Two senior brothers, can you make some concessions?" Li Taihang said, and suddenly 2 bags of spirit stones appeared in his hand. He first looked around and saw that no one else was paying attention, so he walked to the 2 mountain guarding disciples and stuffed a bag of spirit stones in each of them. Then, Li Taihang stepped aside, bowed to the 2 men, and said, "Two senior brothers, I'm in trouble. If you can let me see the third elder, there will be a generous reward." The 2 mountain guarding disciples saw the heavy spirit stones, and their eyes widened immediately. They looked at Li Taihang in disbelief, and even thought in their hearts, "This kid knows how to do things. There are 100 spirit stones in it. After the matter is done, I will give you 200 spirit stones each." This time, both of them were dumbfounded. For mountain guarding disciples like them, at most they can only get 10 spirit stones a month, but there are 100 spirit stones in it. Looking at the spirit stone bag in their hands, they swallowed their saliva. "Well, how about we try it? Anyway, just pass on a message." "Well, I think it's feasible." So, the two mountain guarding disciples accepted Li Taihang's bribe, but neither of them was afraid of being punished, so they simply played rock-paper-scissors. In the end, the loser was responsible for reporting. At this time, Li Taihang saw that they had agreed, and his mouth curled up slightly, but soon returned to normal. When another mountain guarding disciple went to report the news, Li Taihang took the opportunity to get close to the remaining mountain guarding disciple. "Brother, do you know if the third elder needs these?" Li Taihang approached the mountain guarding disciple and showed him a bag of spiritual stones. The mountain guarding disciple looked around and quietly hooked his hand to avoid being seen. Seeing this, Li Taihang also gave it to the other party readily. Then, the other party smiled and said, "Not bad, quite reasonable." Then, he stopped talking. Li Taihang also had a bottom line in his heart, because the other party's performance was enough to prove that the third elder was also a greedy person. This was also because of what his master said last night: "You are rich. It's great." Otherwise, Li Taihang would not ask this question. After a while, the mountain guarding disciple came down and said, "Master invites you." "Okay, thank you, brother. No need." Li Taihang then gave each of them 200 spirit stones, which made the two mountain guarding disciples very happy. Li Taihang entered Lintai Mountain and found the third elder Zhao Dezhu in the house on the top of the mountain. Zhao Dezhu was tall and thin, with a mustache, and looked very smart. He stared at Li Taihang and asked, "Li Taihang, what do you want to do with me?" Since Li Taihang knew that the other party was greedy for money, he did not hide it, but said quietly, "Is it convenient?" "Here. I brought a gift." "What do you mean?" "Third elder, I want to buy your ghost mask." After that, Li Taihang gave the third elder a spirit stone bag of 10,000 spirit stones. Zhao Dezhu was stunned by Li Taihang's operation. 10,000 spirit stones? Yes. You want to buy my ghost mask with 10,000 spirit stones? Although 10,000 spirit stones is a lot, Zhao Dezhu will not sell it easily. Wrong, third elder, this is a gift for you. As long as you are willing to sell the ghost mask, the price is negotiable. Of course, it can't be too high, otherwise my master will know. It will be a bit troublesome. Li Taihang mentioned his master while showing a pitiful look. This kid actually gave me 10,000 spirit stones directly when we met. It's really generous. The third elder was very shocked. He knew how valuable these 10,000 spirit stones were, but the other party directly regarded it as a gift. However, he also knew that Li Taihang had something to ask for. When he heard Li Taihang's request, he thought about it and said, "How about this? 100,000, the ghost mask is sold to you." Zhao Dezhu didn't dare to ask for too much, otherwise, with Wang Xuanwu's temper, if he knew about this, he would definitely not let him go. Okay. Li Taihang agreed without hesitation. This surprised Zhao Dezhu, and he thought, I just said it casually, this kid really has 100,000 spirit stones, 100,000 spirit stones, let alone him. Even if the sect took out 100,000 spirit stones, the pressure would be very great, but, can Li Taihang take it just by saying it? But thinking that this kid took 10,000 spirit stones as his meeting gift, it must be said that this kid's financial resources are terrifying. Suddenly, he envied Wang Xuanwu again, who actually found such a rich disciple. Okay. Seeing that Li Taihang agreed, Zhao Dezhu naturally said nothing more, so he took out the ghost mask and told Li Taihang about the ghost mask. I got this ghost mask by chance. It can block others from peeping at your true appearance, and even conceal your true cultivation. I have tested it before. As long as you have not reached the realm of crossing the tribulation, you can't see through your true cultivation. Wow, so powerful. Of course. Thank you, third elder. Li Taihang took the ghost mask with a ferocious face and gave Zhao Dezhu 100,000 spirit stones at the same time. Zhao Dezhu was very happy after getting the 100,000 spirit stones, but he did not show it directly, but still looked very calm. Okay, you go back. Okay, third elder, then the disciple will take his leave. Well, go ahead. Zhao Dezhu was eager for Li Taihang to leave quickly, so that he could count 110,000 spirit stones beautifully. After Li Taihang got the ghost mask, he was very happy and left Lintai Mountain with it. At this time, he also received a message from Wang Xuanwu. Disciple, come back to the mountain gate, your things are ready. Li Taihang heard the voice from Qifeng order and responded, okay, master, I'll go back now. Li Taihang looked around and didn't see anyone staring at him. He teleported back to Qifeng Mountain. Chapter 43 Going Down the Mountain. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qifeng Mountain, Li Taihang returned to his residence and came outside. He saw Wang Xuanwu who had been waiting for a long time. Wang Xuanwu sensed Li Taihang's sudden arrival and was a little surprised. He came to Li Taihang, looked him up and down, and said, "You are really good. You can teleport from such a long distance. Tell me, what skills did you learn secretly? But your trick is very useful. How about teaching it to master?" Li Taihang was stunned. He didn't expect his master to be so powerful. He actually knew where he was. He also knew that he teleported here. Master, you are joking. Besides, I am afraid you can't learn my teleportation ability. Why can't you learn it? Because I realized it myself and don't know how to teach. Li Taihang couldn't say that because I have a system, I can do it, but you don't have a system, so you can't. Okay, forget it. If you can't learn it, forget it. But you should keep a low profile in the future. Also, did you get the ghost mask? Yes, master. It seems that you spent a lot of spirit stones. Wang Xuanwu took out the wine gourd and drank it. With the wine and meat given to her by Li Taihang, she no longer needs to ask for things from other elders or the sect master. If she continues to ask for things, the whole sect will be poor. Well, 110,000 spirit stones. Puff. Wang Xuanwu sprayed out all the wine, and even sprayed Li Taihang's face. What did you say? 110,000 spirit stones. Wang Xuanwu was furious and said, "Zhao Dezhu, that bastard, actually dared to cheat you. I will deal with him." Hey, don't, master, don't go over there. That's 110,000. Wang Xuanwu said with great pain. Master, that's enough. Didn't you call me here for something? Oh, that's right. Wang Xuanwu quickly handed a set of equipment and weapons to Li Taihang, and said, "This is a complete set of high-grade spiritual equipment and weapons. Keep them. When you go to the forest of 10,000 beasts to practice, wear them. Also, if you meet strangers in the forest of 10,000 beasts, try to avoid them. Although the ghost mask helps you conceal your cultivation, you know how high your cultivation is. In addition, you are only suitable for the outer periphery in the body refining realm. Wait until you reach the Qi gathering realm, and then go inside. In short, the master has divided the situation inside for you. Don't go to some dangerous areas beyond your level. It's easy to die." Yes, master. Yes. Li Taihang took the equipment and weapons given to him by Wang Xuanwu and put them into the dimensional space bag. Ding. Get a set of Jindan realm equipment, high-grade spiritual equipment, trigger the 10 billion amplification effect, and get Jindan realm equipment, high-grade spiritual equipment, * 10 billion. Ding. Obtain a Doling sword, top-grade spiritual weapon, trigger the 10 billion amplification effect, and obtain Doling sword, top-grade spiritual weapon, * 10 billion. Under the 10 billion amplification effect, Li Taihang instantly had 10 billion sets of the same model. At this time, he thought of his ghost mask and put it into the dimensional space bag. Ding. Special items detected, ghost mask, triggering a 100-fold amplification effect, obtain a transformation mask. Ding, transformation mask, can disguise as any living creature the host has seen, and has the basic abilities of the target. After hearing this, Li Taihang was a little surprised. He didn't expect to get a transformation mask. This time it's not 10 billion. Moreover, this transformation mask is actually a special item. This is the first time Li Taihang has encountered such a situation. Disciple, remember to be careful when you go there. Master, please rest assured. Okay, then you can go. But, master, the map you gave me only includes the forest of 10,000 beasts, and does not include Li Taihang had not finished speaking when he felt a force wrapping him up. When he opened his eyes, he had already arrived outside Xianxia's sect. Disciple, be careful and return to the sect within 70 days, otherwise, I will build a tombstone for you. After hearing this, Li Taihang's forehead was suddenly black. My master is really not pleasing. Even he, as a disciple, has such a headache for her, let alone other people. It's just right, take this opportunity to go down the mountain to visit my parents. As for how to get to the forest of 10,000 beasts, I can also ask about it. Originally, he wanted to say goodbye to Lu Tong and the others, but now it seems that there is no hope. However, Li Taihang put on a transformation mask, and then turned into an old man with a fairy-like appearance, moved instantly, and disappeared under the mountain. Luoyue town, the people in the town were living as usual. Suddenly, an old man with a fairy-like appearance appeared on the street. He was an old immortal. When the people on the street saw him, they were all shocked, but they were also full of awe for him. After all, he appeared suddenly. Li Taihang glanced at the direction of his home and walked over. He did not intend to go back directly, but just took a quick look. After all, he did not know what would happen this time. If he appeared at home at this time, he would probably make his family sad again. Suehua, don't bother me. I've said that you are going to marry my brother. No, I want to marry you. My father said that your brother went to cultivate immortality, so I should just marry you. No, I can't let my brother down. Li Taihang saw the fat girl outside the door, who was entangled with his brother, and his forehead was full of black lines. This girl, Matsuehua, was the daughter of the richest man in the town. At that time, the town was madly saying that Matsuehua was going to marry Li Taihang because the Ma family had set their eyes on Li Taihang. However, who knew that Li Taihang didn't like their fat girl at all, let alone agree to the Ma family. Later, Li Taihang went to cultivate immortality again, and the richest man Ma had to give up, but he set his eyes on Li Taihang's younger brother, and then changed his mind to marry Li Taihang's younger brother. Moreover, this time, in order to prevent accidents, Matsuehua was allowed to come to the door in person, and Li Taihang's younger brother was tossed to the sky and the earth. After seeing this, Li Taihang could only say, "Brother, you save yourself and have good luck." Then, he went to see his parents and sister, and saw that they were all fine, so he was relieved. Just as Li Taihang was about to leave, he heard a voice from inside the house. "Old man, do you think Xianxia eats well and dresses well in Xianxia's sect? Will he suffer?" "Hey, don't worry, Xianxia has been smart and capable since he was a child, he will definitely be able to cultivate to become an immortal. But, I'm worried that he will suffer. After all, Xianxia has rarely suffered since he was a child." Okay, old woman, he must be fine, otherwise we can go up the mountain to inquire about the news one day." Okay. Seeing this, Li Taihang felt sad, and with a thought, he left a letter and left in a hurry. He couldn't bear to see his family again. Chapter 44 Traveling with the Caravan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After meeting his parents in Luoyue town, Li Taixing inquired about the location of the forest of beasts and learned that a caravan was about to pass by. Li Taihang applied for the bodyguard of this caravan and planned to follow the caravan to the forest of beasts. The caravan boss was very enthusiastic when he saw Li Taihang. After all, how could they not be happy with an immortal protecting them? A carriage was specially arranged for Li Taihang. "Old immortal, why are you going to the forest of beasts? Something's wrong." "Well." The caravan owner's surname was Zhao. After seeing Li Taihang's indifferent attitude, he was not angry at all. After all, there was an old god blessing him along the way, and he believed that he would be quite safe. However, he often came to Li Taihang to get close to him. However, Li Taihang is not easy to contact. If Li Taihang didn't know the way, he wouldn't have followed them. Although he can teleport, he can only teleport to familiar places and places he has been to. Now, all we can do is follow the caravan and protect their safety. "Old fairy, what do you want to eat? We will be camping later so we can prepare it for you." It has to be said that Li Taihang became an old man's choice, which made his character set several levels higher. Even boss Zhao was very respectful to him. "No need. When Boss Xiao saw Li Taixing closing his eyes and concentrating, he stopped disturbing him. However, because of Li Taihang's help, his mood improved a lot along the way. As for whether Li Taihang has that strength? When asking for directions, Li Taixing made a casual move, and all the swords of his guards flew to Li Taixing's side, coupled with Li Taixing's ability to walk through the air without stepping on a sword, and his ability to move instantly. Boss Xiao and his subordinates have been completely subdued and no longer dare to do anything. It's too much to underestimate Li Taixing. Okay, if the old god orders me, please feel free to call me. Boss Xiao smiled bitterly and left the carriage. Although he got close to him a lot along the way, Li Taihang didn't seem to take him seriously at all. Helpless, he could only give up first and did not dare to disturb him too many times to avoid leaving a bad impression on others. In the evening, the caravan set out to camp. Everyone, please check the goods to make sure nothing is lost. Also, you must remain vigilant at night. Even if the old god is here, don't forget your responsibilities. This time, because of Li Taihang's presence, Boss Xiao specially bought a lot of high-end goods. If this trip goes well enough, he will earn enough money to make several trips back and forth. Before, if he hadn't been limited in time and had to rush to deliver goods to others, he would have really wanted to stay a few more days to collect more goods before taking action. Yes, boss. Hearing what Boss Xiao said, the guards didn't take it seriously. They thought, with the old god here, what could happen? Therefore, they behaved very casually. This attitude made Boss Xiao a little dissatisfied, but thinking about Li Taixing's presence, he didn't force them. At this time, in the mountains and forests, a group of robbers approached quietly. Did you see it? It's them. Their caravan is very big and there must be a lot of good things. Well, this is a good prey, but there are so few guards. Is there a scam in it? What's the trick? For example, are there any peerless masters hidden among them? No, don't think so much. Hey, I'm still a little uneasy. This caravan is so big, but there are so few guards. It's obviously very unreasonable. If the other party doesn't have a strong person protecting it secretly, would it dare to do this? Okay, they have experts, don't we? You mean? Hey, I've also invited experts. Okay, then we'll do this. We'll take action immediately after midnight. Okay, no problem. The robbers left immediately, but they didn't know that their actions had been detected by Li Taixing. Call Boss Xiao. Okay. The groom outside the carriage heard Li Taihang's words and immediately ran to find Boss Xiao. As soon as Boss Xiao heard that Li Taihang was looking for him, he immediately walked out of Li Taihang's carriage with a big fat belly. Old fairy, I'm here. Boss Xiao saluted the carriage and said. Come in. Okay. After a while, Boss Xiao got out of the carriage with a gloomy expression. The groom looked a little confused and didn't know what was going on. Boss Xiao has already learned from Li Taihang that robbers will attack tonight. This made Boss Xiao very scared. Looking at the guards, they all looked like normal people and were not even angry at all. If it weren't for Li Taixing's presence, he would definitely have suffered a disaster on this trip. You idiots, come here. Boss Xiao shouted angrily. The guards didn't understand why Boss Xiao was angry, but they still came over quickly. Then, he asked the guard captain to take these guards to find a quiet place to discuss things with them. When they heard that robbers were attacking them in the middle of the night, they were also frightened. You know, that was when everyone was most sleepy, and these robbers took advantage of this time to attack. Wouldn't they want to kill them? Boss, with the old immortal here, there should be no problem, right? Boss Xiao's head was full of black lines, and he said, the old immortal just called me over and told me about this matter. In addition, let me and you protect yourself and the goods, and you don't need to participate in the battle. I see. Then there is nothing to worry about. However, Boss Xiao looked at the attitude of these guards and became even more unhappy. He felt that these guards were all guys who lived off their wives and were too useless. It seems that I have to hire a master to protect myself secretly in the future, otherwise, I might be cheated by these guys. Boss Xiao made a decision in his heart. He was jealous when he thought of Li Taihang. It's a pity that Li Taihang would never agree to be his bodyguard. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but sigh. Boss, "Don't worry, we will protect the goods and you." Seeing Boss Zhao sighing, the captain of the guards thought he was dissatisfied with them, and quickly made a promise. Seeing this, the other guards also nodded and made promises one by one, but Boss Zhao knew what the guards were thinking. He glared at them and turned away. Then, the captain of the guards also called the guards to return to their positions. After all, they knew that there were robbers trying to attack them, and even with Li Taihang around, they didn't dare to joke with their lives. That night came quietly, and the crisis also came quietly. Chapter 45, Challenge of a Higher Level. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the second half of the night, the bandits finally appeared. They quietly came to the outskirts of the caravan, hid in the forest, and observed the situation of the caravan, but they found that the people in the caravan were gone, and the caravan's carriages were surrounded in a circle, posing a defensive posture. After seeing this, the bandits couldn't help but feel a little confused. "Boss, do they know we are coming?" The second leader of the bandits asked in a puzzled manner. The first leader of the bandits frowned, thought for a while, shook his head, and said, "It shouldn't be possible. We were so far away at the time, and we were observing them in secret. They couldn't find us. In addition, if they found us, do you think they would stay here?" That the second leader of the bandits heard it and immediately felt that it made sense. "Then boss, why are they like this now?" The second leader of the bandits asked again. "It is estimated that they are highly vigilant. They do this to prevent others from attacking." "Boss, then are we still going?" The third leader of the bandits asked. "Of course, since we are here, we can't return empty-handed, right?" The bandit leader said, and began to give orders to attack. "Second brother, you lead the people to attack from the front, and third brother, you lead the people to attack them from the back. I will wait for the opportunity to act." "Yes, boss." Then, the second and third leaders of the bandits stood up, led their bandits, and began to act, and at the same time launched an attack on the caravan. "Sir, if the situation is not right later, please take action," the bandit leader said respectfully. "Yes." Behind the bandit leader, there was a man in black, and the man in black nodded. "Okay." The bandit leader was also relieved. Looking at the second bandit leader rushing forward, he waved the ring-headed broadsword in his hand, and quickly approached the caravan with more than 100 bandits behind him. "They are coming." After sensing the situation outside, Li Taihang reminded. At this time, the people in the caravan began to get nervous. They all hid to prevent the bandits outside from finding them, and they held their weapons tightly in their hands. Li Taihang found that they were divided into two groups, one in front and one in the back, so he said, "You guard the back, and let me deal with the bandits in front. After I kill them, I will come to help you." Hearing Li Taihang's words, they all nodded. The captain of the guards did not dare to be careless at this time. He made a gesture to the guards. When the bandits approached, they suddenly appeared and shot at the bandits who were approaching. Shoot! Swish, swish, swish. The arrows shot and hit the bandits who rushed over. After they were shot, they screamed, "Kill!" That the three bandit leaders shot away the flying arrows and commanded the bandits to rush forward. In front, Li Taihang suddenly appeared on a carriage, watching more than 100 bandits in front of him rushing up. He raised his hand, and more than 100 flying swords were suspended around him. Now, he has spiritual power like the ocean, and it is easy to control these flying swords. Not good, there is an immortal on the other side. The second leader of the bandits exclaimed and turned to flee. "Go!" Li Taihang pointed forward, and a number of Qingyue swords of the top-grade spiritual weapon level flew towards the bandits in front. Ah! No! Puff! Suddenly, the bandits were unable to dodge and were pierced by the flying swords. Those flying swords attacked them like a violent storm. The more than 100 bandits, including the second leader of the bandits, were desperately resisting. However, after a while, more than half of them were killed or injured. The remaining bandits were also scared and wanted to escape. When the leader of the bandits saw Li Taihang, he was also very shocked. He didn't expect that there was such a powerful cultivator in this caravan. The leader of the bandits quickly looked at the man in black behind him. If he didn't take action, I'm afraid that the second leader and his men would be finished. Don't worry, I'll go meet him. The man in black still felt guilty when he saw Li Taihang take action, but when he saw that Li Taihang had such a hard time killing these bandits, he suddenly felt something was wrong. He felt that Li Taihang's strength should not be as strong as he imagined. Afterwards, he flew on his sword and came to Li Taihang's side, staring at Li Taihang, intending to test Li Taihang's true cultivation. Strange, I can't see through this old guy in front of me. Could it be that his strength is above mine? However, he still asked calmly, who are you? Li Taihang saw the man in black flying on his sword, but he ignored him, and continued to control the flying sword to attack the bandits. You are looking for death. The man in black was furious when he saw Li Taihang ignore him, and he stretched out a long sword in his hand and stabbed Li Taihang. He was so fast that Li Taihang almost didn't react, and it was also thanks to Li Taihang who had been staring at him for a long time that he reacted in time. Humph. The other party could see that Li Taihang was not that strong, and he could not help but feel relieved. However, Li Taihang was able to control the sword, which surprised the other party. After all, even he could not do such a profound method. This old guy is a bit weird. Take him down and then test his bottom. Obviously, the man in black was interested in Li Taihang's strength. But Li Taihang looked at him and smiled. What are you laughing at? The man in black suddenly had an ominous premonition. Then, he found something wrong. He didn't know when, and there were all Xianxia swords around him. Top-grade spiritual weapons, so many. Did you do it on purpose? At this time, the man in black finally understood that Li Taihang was not unable to kill the robbers immediately, but deliberately lured him out, but Li Taihang smiled and said nothing. Go. Suddenly, Xianxua's sword stabbed at the man in black, and the robbers all widened their eyes, a little unbelievable. My God, is this old guy a sword fairy? He actually controls so many flying swords. The man in black was besieged by thousands of Xianxua swords. He kept blasting out fist shadows to knock down these Xianxua swords, but there were too many of them and they could penetrate everywhere. Puff. Finally, he was hit by a sword, then, the second sword, the third sword, and the fourth sword. In the blink of an eye, the man in black had been stabbed into a hedgehog by the Xianxua sword. Quickly retreat. The leader of the bandits was so frightened when he saw Li Taihang was so horrified that he quickly called out. The second leader of the bandits also came to his senses and quickly fled, and at the end he shouted, Old 3, quickly flee. Don't fight. The third leader of the bandits who was attacking the caravan was shocked. After learning that the other side had a cultivator and had killed their leader, he also panicked. Quickly, retreat. All of a sudden, they all fled. However, Li Taihang did not chase them. It was not that he did not want to chase them, but that he was willing but unable. Chapter 46 The greater the risk, the greater the reward. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In fact, this battle is a complete leapfrog challenge for Li Taihang. The opponent can fly with a sword, which is definitely a golden elixir realm, if it weren't for the key role of the transformation mask, and the fact that he transformed into a fairy-like old man to confuse the opponent. It would have been impossible for Li Taixing to kill the man in black. After all, no matter how strong his attack power is, his reflexes and his own realm are only in the body refining realm. Damn, I can kill him, thanks to these high-grade spiritual weapons. Li Taixing almost collapsed on the ground, and now he is scared even thinking about it. He also thought that if 1,000 Xianxua swords could not kill him, then 10,000 or 100,000 swords would be used to empty the spiritual sea, and this Jindan realm must be killed, otherwise, he would be doomed. Fortunately, the man in black despised him in the end and gave him the opportunity to kill the man in black. He walked to the side of the man in black and took back all the green moon swords. Then they searched the body of the man in black, and finally found a black token from his body. Dark Soul. Li Taixing was a little confused when he saw the words Black Soul on it. After Boss Xiao and the others saw that the robbers had escaped, they all breathed a sigh of relief and came to Li Taihang's side. When Boss Xiao saw the man in black who had been stabbed with holes by the Xianxua sword, he suddenly felt overwhelmed. Vomit. Boss Zhao held on to the tree beside him and vomited it out in big mouths. Li Taixing took the black card and came to the guard captain and asked, "Do you know what this is?" "Dark Soul." The guard captain shook his head and said with confusion on his face, "Old God, I don't know what this is." "All right." Not even knowing that he was there, Li Taihang glanced at Boss Zhao again. Boss Zhao came over with the support of the maid. Old God, I'm sorry." "It's okay, do you know this black card?" Li Taixing simply asked. Boss Zhao glanced at it, then shook his head and said, "I don't know, but, old God, let's get out of this ghost place quickly." Boss Zhao felt that his life might be in danger if he stayed any longer. Li Taixing nodded and said, "Well, let's go." "Good." Boss Zhao looked happy, called the caravan, and left here immediately. Li Taixing returned to his carriage and finally breathed a sigh of relief. The battle just now left him with a lingering feeling of fear, and he no longer wanted to experience it again. However, when Li Taixing calmed down and recalled the battle just now, he suddenly felt blessed and felt a sense of enlightenment. "Hey, you actually broke through." Li Taixing was very surprised. Ding. It is detected that the host has broken through the realm and triggers a multi-billion increase effect. Ding. Congratulations to the host for reaching the 9th level of Qi Gathering Realm. Li Taixing was a little depressed when he heard the system's beep, because after a breakthrough, the amplification effect would be stuck when hitting a bottleneck. Even if there is an increase of tens of billions, if he cannot break through the bottleneck, he will not be able to move to the next big realm. But the good thing is that he doesn't need to practice in one world after another. The trouble is, go directly from this bottleneck to the next bottleneck. However, after reaching the Qi Gathering Realm, Li Taixing suddenly found that his bottleneck began to loosen again, and he actually entered the Foundation Establishment Realm directly. What? Another level of growth? Is it the result of killing the man in black just now? Ding. It is detected that the host has broken through the realm and triggers a multi-billion increase effect. Ding. Congratulations to the host for reaching the 9th level of the Foundation Establishment Realm. This is too fierce. It's already at the Foundation level, and it's still the 9th level. Li Taixing was immediately shocked. Then, he encountered a new bottleneck, and this time the bottleneck didn't move at all. Damn it, no wonder people say that the greater the risk, the greater the reward. It is indeed true. Now, if Li Taihang meets someone with the same strength as the man in black, Li Taihang can easily kill him instantly. After thinking of this, Li Taixing became even more happy. My disciple is really not that simple. Wang Xuanwu sat on a big tree, drinking and watching the carriage go away, and couldn't help but sigh. Previously, when she saw Li Taihang dealing with those in the Golden Core realm, she was ready to take action. However, she didn't expect Li Taixing to kill the other party with a sword. It was also his fault that the other party was careless. He had no idea that Li Taixing was so powerful and could control so many high-grade spiritual weapons. Coupled with Li Taihang's decisiveness, Li Taihang finally succeeded and killed the man in black. It's just that I, a stupid disciple, have offended the Black Soul Palace, and I'm afraid there will be no peace in the future. Should I destroy this Black Soul Palace? Wang Xuanwu counted with her fingers. My disciple still has a fate with this Black Soul Palace, so forget it. Black Soul Palace never expected that he would escape death. While Wang Xuanwu was drinking wine, he suddenly spit out a mouthful of wine. Ahem. What's going on? The Qi Gathering Realm is directly in the 9 heavens. Forget about the 9th level heaven, but still break through to the Foundation Establishment Realm. And then the 9th level heaven again. In just the blink of an eye, this kid was promoted from the 9th level of the Body Refining Realm to the 9th level of the Foundation Building Realm. What did this kid eat to be so strong? Wang Xuanwu looked at the carriage gradually going away, feeling a little envious. Then, she showed an intoxicated face, looking very lazy and pleasant. This time I followed him out, and there was really something good to eat. Not only did I find that my disciple could transform, but also, with the strength of the Body Refining Realm, he killed a Jindan realm strongman, and he was so powerful in breaking through the realm. I am really envious of him. In the next few days, Boss Zhao did not dare to stay for a moment. and even preferred to rest in the car, and did not let everyone camp. Even if they camped, it was time to eat. Then they hurried on the road again. However, Taihang was very satisfied with the speed of this journey. In this way, he would be able to reach the forest of 10,000 beasts soon. Sure enough, after a few days, they came to Xianxia city outside the forest of 10,000 beasts. Old Immortal, this is Xianxia city. 100 miles east of Xianxia city is the forest of 10,000 beasts. Okay. Thank you for this period of time, Old Immortal. This is the reward. Taihang shook his head and said, I won't keep the reward secret. Just think of it as a ride. Taihang has plenty of money now, and he didn't care about the little silver in his hand. Hearing Taihang say this, Boss Xiao immediately showed a happy expression. After all, the money given to Taihang was not small, but Taihang actually refused it. This was a pleasant surprise. However, thinking of the other party's identity, Boss Xiao quickly took out another identity card and said, Old Immortal, since you don't want money, then take this thing. If it appears in my Zhao's Chamber of Commerce, it will have unexpected effects. Taihang took a look and took it. This time he did not refuse. Seeing this, Boss Xiao also showed a happy smile, and a big stone in his heart fell. Chapter 47 Stock up on supplies before departure. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Taihang had something else to do, so he didn't talk to Boss Xiao anymore and separated from them. After saying goodbye, Taihang found a secluded place, took off his transformation mask, and changed back. My face is still the best. Then, he walked into the corner, but didn't notice Wang Xuan was staring at him not far away. First, I walked around the city and bought some things that are not in the dimensional space. Especially various delicacies, fruits, drinks, and various seasonings, all ordered one each. In this way, even in the forest of beasts, we can improve our meals. After Taihang made a plan, he began to visit various snack bars, pubs, etc. Wang Xuanwu followed him, very surprised. What is my disciple doing? Can he finish ordering so much? Wait. Wang Xuanwu suddenly realized that he knew another incredible secret. I'll see when the time comes. Wang Xuanwu disappeared in an instant, and the people around her didn't seem to notice her. Taihang worked for most of the day. After getting ready, he left the city and headed for the forest of 10,000 beasts without any plans to rest as it was getting dark. This time, Taihang returned to his original appearance, carrying a blue moon sword on his back, walking on the road, watching the sun in the sky gradually set. In the evening, the wind was a little cold, and the pedestrians on the road shivered. However, as a cultivator in the foundation building realm, Taihang was not afraid at all. This is the benefit of cultivating immortals. Taihang looked at those ordinary people and thought to himself. Then, he continued walking. He still had the transformation mask on his body. Even if he didn't wear it on his face, but just put it on his body, it had the effect of covering up his own breath. He walked alone on the road and soon attracted the attention of a group of sneaky pedestrians. They saw that Taihang was alone, and the sword on his body seemed to be very valuable, and they also expected that Taihang should be a cultivator. However, Taihang was too young and didn't look like a strong man. They looked at each other and ran over to greet Taihang. Little brother, where are you going? The tall and thin young man in the lead asked curiously. What does it have to do with you? Taihang saw a few people blocking his way and glanced at them. Hey, it's not that you are alone and it's dangerous on the road, so I want to ask you to go with me. What do you think? Said the tall and thin young man. No need. Hey, little brother, don't rush to refuse. You know, you need friends when you go out. The more friends you have, the easier it is to walk. We just want to help you because you are young and alone. Yes. But seeing that Taihang was still unmoved, he continued, to tell you the truth, we are going to the forest of 10,000 beasts, but we are short of some manpower. If possible, you can also join our team and help us deal with the spoils. Don't worry, we will solve the fighting work ourselves, and you don't need to participate. Moreover, we will pay you. Li Taihang glanced at the people in front of him, and they all looked very friendly, but Li Taihang always felt that they were not good people, so he said, "This. Okay, you follow us, we guarantee your safety, and besides, you are alone, what if you are in danger when you go?" The tall and thin young man pulled Li Taihang aside without waiting for him to finish speaking, and kept persuading him. Li Taihang frowned, a little disgusted. However, these people surrounded him, which made Li Taihang keenly aware that these guys must not be good people. At this time, the pedestrians on the road saw them and hurried past. Obviously, these people were not as kind as they seemed. However, Li Taihang has now reached the 9th level of the foundation building realm, and these guys in front of him are only in the chi-gathering realm. To provoke him at this time is really like an old man eating arsenic and hating his life. Therefore, Li Taihang also thought about following them first, just in time to let them lead the way to the forest of fierce beasts, and see what medicine they sell in the gourd. Okay. Li Taihang pretended to be embarrassed and afraid to agree. When they saw that Li Taihang did not resist, they couldn't help but feel a little proud. It seems that this kid dare not resist. Let's take his sword later. If this kid dares to resist, kill him. The tall and thin young man thought. This group of people obviously did not do this for the first time. Li Taihang pretended to be curious and asked, "Why are you going to the forest of fierce beasts so late?" "Hee, we are going to collect nightlight grass. This nightlight grass will only glow at night. During the day, it is no different from ordinary grass, so we have to set out at night." After the tall and thin young man finished speaking, he looked at Li Taihang and asked, "Little brother, what about you?" "I'm here to gain experience." "Experience, are you alone?" Hearing that Li Taihang was here to gain experience, these people seemed a little unnatural, because they were afraid that Li Taihang was from a certain sect. If it was a big sect, they would have to kill him after robbing him. If it was a small sect, it would be fine. Yeah. Hearing that Li Taihang was alone, they secretly breathed a sigh of relief. However, anything could happen in this forest of fierce beasts, so what if he was from a big sect? They have a lot of experience in dealing with this kind of thing. At that time, they only need to lead Li Taihang to those dangerous areas and let him die. Or throw his body over. It's the same. Li Taihang didn't know that they had already thought about how to deal with him, but continued to ask curiously, "You are only in the body refining realm. Isn't it dangerous to go to the fierce beast forest at night?" As for Li Taihang, he was going to train here for a long time, so it didn't matter whether he set out during the day or at night, anyway. "That's why we have to find more helpers. Isn't it you who met us? When the time comes, you help us collect nightlight grass, and we will protect you. What do you think? Don't you ask me what I want to do. Little brother, aren't you here to train? Don't mind if you don't help us. Besides, we said we will pay you, right?" Li Taihang nodded pretentiously, "Yeah." Afterwards, Li Taihang followed them to the fierce beast forest. Because of their guidance, Li Taihang took fewer forks and even took a shortcut. See? This is the forest of ferocious beasts. I said it's faster to take a shortcut, right? Li Taihang was speechless, because he had never been here before, so how could he know whether taking a shortcut was faster or slower? However, one thing was confirmed: these people took Li Taihang to take a shortcut, but they had ulterior motives. It seemed that they wanted to see if Li Taihang was really alone, but now, they had confirmed it, and they exchanged glances with each other, ready to carry out the next plan. Chapter 48, Forest of Ferocious Beasts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The forest of ferocious beasts. As far as the eye can see, the mountains are stacked, ups and downs, and the trees are dense, and there is no end in sight, and here is the trial place that countless cultivators yearn for. There are all kinds of powerful beasts hidden in it. They are dormant in the mountains and hidden in the river. Here, danger is everywhere. It is also the nightmare place of many cultivators. However, the rich materials in it, even various rare and precious materials, have also attracted countless cultivators to come and explore. As the saying goes, wealth and honor are sought in danger. Li Taihang also knows this very well. The group of people in front of him are probably looking for a suitable place to attack him. However, Li Taihang did not act directly. After all, he did not have any substantial evidence to prove that these people were robbers and bad guys. at least, along the way, they helped Li Taihang a lot. Where should we go to find the nightlight grass? Li Taihang asked proactively. The tall and thin young man thought for a moment, pointed in a direction, and said, "Go over there, follow us." Yes. Li Taihang followed and observed the surrounding terrain. He found that this was indeed the periphery of the ferocious beast forest, but the direction they were heading was towards the middle of the ferocious beast forest, which surprised Li Taihang. Are these people not afraid of death? How dare they go to the middle of the ferocious beast forest? That according to Li Taihang's understanding, he felt that even if these guys in the body-refining realm wanted to attack him, they would do so at the periphery. After all, if they went to the middle, they would lose their lives if they couldn't kill one of them. Are we there yet? Not yet, we're almost there. Oh. Not long after, a bright light appeared in front of them. Looking into their eyes, they saw the ground full of luminous grass, and the green leaves actually emitted bursts of fluorescence, which was very beautiful. After seeing it, Li Taihang felt incredible. This is it, go in and collect it. The tall and thin young man smiled and said, however, it's dangerous outside, so your time is limited, we will guard outside. If there is a problem later, call us again. Oh. Li Taihang remembered the content in the map and knew that this was the middle of the forest of ferocious beasts. In other words, the ferocious beasts in this area are all in the lowest level of chi condensation. Li Taihang sensed it and immediately found that there were actually quite a few pythons in the chi condensation realm here, and immediately thought of their sinister intentions. We will help you hold your things, you move quickly. Just as Li Taihang was about to go in, a tall young man suddenly called Li Taihang, and he stretched out his hand to take Li Taihang's weapon, but was dodged by Li Taihang. Don't worry, we are guarding outside, it's very safe here, but it's a bit inconvenient for you to carry things on your back, we will help you hold it first, and you can get it from us later. Seeing Li Taihang's face full of vigilance, the tall man hurriedly explained. Come on, you don't have to pretend anymore. You just want my blue moon sword, right? The thin and tall young man was a little surprised. They all stared at Li Taihang, obviously with bad intentions. Even if it is, so what? Give us the sword and we can let you go. Otherwise, you will bear the consequences. The thin and tall young man could not care so much, they have been following for so long, and they didn't see anyone secretly protecting Li Taihang behind him, so, they decided to take action. You finally showed your true colors. Li Taihang sneered and said. Seeing that Li Taihang was not surprised at all, the thin and tall young man asked, Did you know it a long time ago? Well, I was not sure at first, but now I am sure. What if it is confirmed? You either hand over your weapon or you can only rush into this luminous grass. They blocked Li Taihang's way and wanted to force Li Taihang to hand over the blue moon sword. Li Taihang couldn't help but smile and said, Then let's see if you have the ability. Humph, kid, you're looking for death. The tall young man didn't hold back and punched Li Taihang directly. Bang! Li Taihang stretched out his hand and caught the tall young man's fist steadily with one hand. Ah! Then, Li Taihang twisted hard, and with a sound of click, the tall young man howled miserably. Afterwards, Li Taihang raised his leg and crippled another leg of the tall young man, and then threw the tall young man into the nightlight grass. Ah, help! The tall man begged for help, but no one could save him. Soon, a squeaking sound came from the nightlight grass. No! Don't come over. Because the tall young man had one hand and one foot crippled by Li Taihang, it was difficult for the tall man to fight or escape now. Hiss! Ah, that after a while, the tall young man was silent. Is this the safe place you mentioned? Li Taihang taunted. They obviously wanted to take Li Taihang's things and let him die in there, so that they couldn't be blamed. After all, they didn't know there would be so many pythons in the nightlight grass. You. Seeing that Li Taihang easily killed one of them, the remaining few were also a little panicked. Damn it, kill this kid. Yes. The tall and thin young man shouted, and the people behind him rushed towards Li Taihang without any hesitation. Li Taihang sneered and said, You're just in time. Li Taihang dodged flexibly, and punched frequently. Every time he punched, there was a sound of crisp bones, accompanied by a sharp scream. After a while, these guys were also thrown into the nightlight grass by Li Taihang. Another fierce scream sounded, and it soon returned to calm. You. At this time, the tall and thin young man was also panicked. Li Taihang looked small, but his strength was even stronger than them. This was incredible. What's wrong with me? Li Taihang approached the other party step by step, and the other party also retreated step by step, as if he was very afraid of Li Taihang. No, don't come over. I am coming over, and I plan to send you off. No. Li Taihang drew his sword, a cold light flashed, and a blood mark appeared on the neck of the tall and thin young man. Li Taixing came to his side, patted his shoulder and said, "Thank you for leading the way." Plop. After hearing what Li Taixing said, the tall and thin young man fell down with lifeless eyes, and blood flowed from his neck. At this time, the pythons also smelled the blood and came over here. Hiss. After a while, the tall and thin young man was bitten by a python and dragged into the nightlight grass. Chapter 49 Reward, Unlimited Pet Space. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After Li Taihang shook his head and dealt with these guys with bad intentions, he began his own training. According to the master's meaning, Li Taihang now has the strength of the 9th level of the foundation building realm, so he directly chose the middle of the fierce beast forest. There are a large number of fierce beasts in the middle of the fierce beast forest, and the levels of fierce beasts range from the Qi gathering realm to the foundation building realm. Li Taihang first found a place as his future residence, and he soon found a cave through his perception ability. There was actually a bear spirit in the foundation building realm in this cave. Li Taihang came to the outside of the bear spirit's cave, and the bear spirit also noticed Li Taihang, the uninvited guest. It was a little unhappy. Roar. This is its territory, and it does not allow outsiders to invade. Now, there is actually a human cultivator who has come to its territory. It stared at the human in front of it with great vigilance. Although the other party looks very young, but he can actually come here, which means that the human in front of it is still capable. Hey, bear spirit, I'm going to take over your cave. When the bear spirit saw Li Taihang pointing at it and about to occupy its cave, it was immediately very angry. Roar, that it was protesting. Seeing this, Li Taihang moved his mind and the flying sword behind him flew out. The bear spirit was furious. Bang bang. The bear spirit slapped the ground, and the ground was shaken out with bear paw prints, which were so powerful that even large areas of cracks appeared. Hee hee. Li Taihang smiled slightly and said, "You won't let me go, right?" Then, dozens of blue moon swords appeared beside Li Taihang. The bear spirit was also startled, staring at those flying swords and hesitated. Bang bang. Obviously, it was still determined not to let me go. Li Taihang moved his mind, and suddenly, hundreds of blue moon swords appeared, surrounding the bear spirit. Before it could react, the number increased to several thousand. Gulu. The bear spirit looked at the blue moon swords all over the sky and swallowed a mouthful of saliva. It immediately stepped aside and made a gesture of invitation. Obviously, it already knew that Li Taihang was not easy to mess with. Li Taihang was very happy to see that it was so sensible and could understand what he said. He came to the bear spirit and said, "You are very sensible. Why don't you stay and help me guard the door? Don't worry, you will get benefits." The bear spirit showed hesitation, and saw the blue moon swords in the sky, and nodded without hesitation. Li Taihang nodded with satisfaction and said, "Okay, it depends on your performance." After that, Li Taihang waved his hand, and a roasted suckling pig appeared in front of the bear spirit. Gurgle. The aroma overflowed, and immediately stimulated the taste buds of the bear spirit. See. Follow me, you can eat as much as you want in the future. In addition to this, I also have sheep, duck, chicken, goose meat and the like. After that, Li Taihang really laid them out. The bear spirit smelled the fragrant meat everywhere, as if he had entered the paradise. He was a happy little bear dancing in the paradise. It seems that you are very satisfied. The bear spirit nodded directly. Li Taihang said, "As long as you are satisfied, you agree." Hee hee. The bear spirit nodded again hurriedly, with a smile on his face. Ha ha ha. Good. Then, the bear spirit contributed his essence and appeared in front of Li Taihang. Li Taihang was a little confused. What is this? The bear spirit gave it to Li Taihang. Li Taihang didn't understand what this meant, but he still understood the general meaning. It was probably a return gift. Li Taihang thought so, but when Li Taihang reached out to touch the essence, suddenly, he heard the system prompt sound, ding. Congratulations on getting your first pet, bear spirit. Open unlimited pet space. Ding. Trigger the 100-fold amplification system, you get bear essence * 10 billion. Ding. You can summon a large number of bear spirits to fight for you. Li Taihang was simply stunned. Can it still be operated this way? System, you are awesome. With the appearance of these 10 billion bear spirits, I am afraid that the whole world will belong to me, Li Taihang exclaimed. Wait, if the bear spirits can do this, other beasts may also be able to do it. Suddenly, Li Taihang smiled evilly, but Li Taihang suddenly thought of another question and asked, wait, system, do I need to provide food for these living creatures? Please rest assured, the living creatures in the pet space do not need to be fed by the host. But the one summoned out, please be responsible for yourself. Understood. However, even if he needs to feed, Li Taihang is not afraid. After all, he has plenty of food on him now. By the way, system, can living people be pets, unless the other party has recognized you as the master, but please note that the host is unique. Except for the first one, all other pets are replicas, so there are certain flaws. What do you mean by flaws? Brutal, fearless of death, but absolutely loyal. Oh. Is that it? Yes. Okay, I got it. As long as they don't betray me, nothing is a problem. Li Taixing walked into the bear's cave and saw the stench inside. He couldn't help but waved his hand and said, it seems that we need to clean it up. So, Li Taihang summoned several bear spirits. These bear spirits suddenly appeared, and the original bear spirit was shocked when he saw them. It saw many of itself, it couldn't help rubbing its eyes, tilting its head and looking at the many of itself in front of it, very puzzled. Seeing this, Li Taihang couldn't help but smile and said, what? Don't you recognize your own kind when you see them? Oh, right, they are not your kind, they are your replicas. Okay, start working. After Li Taihang got some cleaning tools, these bear spirits began to perform cleaning tasks woodenly. They cleaned the ground inside, and also took the animal bones and the like out of the cave. At this time, Wang Xuanwu, who was hiding in the dark, was stunned when he saw the identical bear spirits walking out, so much so that he forgot to eat the roast chicken in his hand. When did a few more bear spirits appear in there? Why do they all look exactly the same? Like they were carved out of the same mold. Wang Xuanwu was completely confused. Could this bear spirit be a multiple birth? TSK, it seems that my beloved disciple has subdued one and sent a few more. But why do I feel that this feeding scene is a bit familiar? Wang Xuanwu frowned, looking at his roast chicken, and then at the roast suckling pig that the bear spirit opposite was eating. I suddenly felt uncomfortable, feeling that I, like the bear spirit, had become a pet that was fed by others. Chapter 50 The Real Plan for Training. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the evening, after Li Taihang's hard work, Li Taihang's cave was finally sorted out. Not only is the interior completely new, the entire walls have been flattened, the ground is also very flat, covered with wooden floors, and even has corresponding tables, chairs, beds, and some daily necessities. Although the bear spirit couldn't help and was clumsy, this bear spirit gave him an unexpected surprise. Li Taihang took Xiong Jing and said, Little Xiong, let me give you a name. From today on, you will be called Xiong Air. The bear spirit tilted his head. Xiong Air, I'm calling you. Li Taixing called. The bear spirit nodded and showed a naive smile. Suddenly, Li Taihang thought of the three bear brothers. Their second child was also called Xiong Air. This damn name is the same. No, when you go back, let's change Xiong Air's name to Xiong Tai. Afterwards, Li Taihang ignored Xiong Air and asked him to guard the door. Then, he had a good sleep inside. As for those bear spirits, Li Taixing took them into his pet space. Speaking of which, the eyes of these bear spirits are very empty and do not have the spirituality of Xianxia. Li Taixing didn't think too much and fell asleep while lying down. The next morning, Li Taixing got up and went to brush his teeth and wash his face. After finishing his work, Li Taixing came to the entrance of the cave and saw Xianxia sleeping soundly. At this time, Xianxia was sleeping soundly. Li Taixing came to it and said depressedly, "Is this how this idiot shows me the door?" Li Taihang was very depressed, so he kicked Xianxia. Bang! Roar! Xianxia clutched his butt and jumped in pain. He turned around to see who was attacking him. When he saw that it was his master, his face was filled with grievances. "Okay, don't be aggrieved and look after your home. I want to go outside." Xianxia saw this and nodded. Li Taihang left the cave. He would have to rest here for the next period of time, so this home could not be lost, otherwise, everything I did yesterday will be in vain. By the way, Master asked me to practice, probably to fight those ferocious beasts, right? Li Taihang thought about what Wang Xuanwu told him. Before he knew it, he came to a river. He stared at the river. A giant crocodile in the river stared at him. Neither side seemed to have expected the other's appearance. "Whoa, crocodile!" The giant crocodile was also startled when it saw Li Taihang, but it soon became angry. It opened its bloody mouth and sprayed a jet of water towards Li Taihang. The water column shot towards Li Taihang like a sharp arrow. Li Taixing dodged flexibly, and the water column hit a tree behind him. It penetrated the tree and created a hole the size of a fist. Li Taixing was stunned. "Are all these fucking crocodiles so scary?" Ding. Triggering the tens of billions multiplier effect, the host's dodge value at the current level has been filled up, and it can dodge any attack at the foundation building level and below. This effect will automatically increase with the level. "Hey, does it feel so good?" Li Taixing's face turned from shock to joy. He hooked his hand at the giant crocodile in the water and said, "Come on, little boy, is this all you want?" The giant crocodile seemed to feel Li Taihang's provocation and became furious. Whoosh whoosh. Suddenly, jets of water shot towards Li Taihang. However, Li Taihang was so enchanting that he avoided all its water jet attacks without exception. On the other hand, the trees behind Li Taihang were hit by water jets one by one, and some even fell down. Boom. Haha, that's it. Li Taixing looked at the giant crocodile with disdain. The giant crocodile seemed to be extremely angry and suddenly sank. Li Taixing thought it was going to escape, so he said, "Yeah, you're a coward." Just as he was talking, the giant crocodile popped up again. "Hey, if you're not convinced, then come again." Li Taixing raised his middle finger towards the giant crocodile. Although the other party didn't understand what the fingers meant, he could see the contempt on Li Taixing's face. However, it didn't seem annoyed, and instead slapped the river water with its head. Li Taixing thought it was extremely angry, so he said, "Hey, don't be angry, come and bite me if you don't accept it." Then, dozens of giant crocodiles suddenly appeared on the river. Li Taihang's smile suddenly froze. Then, dozens of giant crocodiles sprayed water towards Li Taihang. Whoosh whoosh. Seeing the dense water jets shooting towards him, Li Taixing raised his legs and ran away without saying a word. "You don't have martial ethics." Those giant crocodiles were chasing after him, seemingly not intending to let Li Taihang go, but no matter what, Li Taihang was so good at dodging that even if dozens of giant crocodiles moved together, none of them could hit this guy. After a while, Li Taihang disappeared, and those giant crocodiles could only return to the river angrily. At this time, Li Taihang was on the cliff, staring at the leaving giant crocodiles, but he was weighing the value of this giant crocodile in his heart. While he was thinking about it, Li Taixing suddenly realized something was wrong. He looked up and saw a huge giant bird monster standing next to him, more than 5 meters tall. At this time, Li Taihang noticed that there was a bird's nest under his feet, and there were several little bird monsters. Each of them was 2 meters tall, staring at Li Taihang strangely. Chirp. When they saw Li Taihang, they pecked at him. Wow. Li Taihang had to dodge left and right. Fortunately, his dodge was full, otherwise, I'm afraid it would be a big trouble. He quickly teleported away from the bird monster's nest. Damn, This ferocious beast forest is really dangerous. I just went out not long ago and I encountered so many troubles. Li Taihang looked up at the sky and saw that it was the giant bird monster just now, looking for something. Li Taihang didn't need to think about it, it must be looking for him. Li Taihang thought in his heart that this giant bird monster was too big. Wait, whether it is a giant crocodile or this giant bird, can't they both be my pets? Li Taihang suddenly felt that this experience was interesting. Hee hee. Li Taihang smiled evilly, then walked in the air, exposed himself in front of the giant bird monster, pointed at it, and said, "Little bird, listen, if you lose, just give up your essence and become my pet. I won't treat you badly." The giant bird monster was furious when he saw that a human several times smaller than himself actually called him a little bird. Suddenly, a strong wind blew and attacked Li Taihang. Damn, this temper is bad, just like the giant crocodiles just now. But you won't summon a group of giant bird monsters, right? As he was talking, Li Taihang suddenly heard a burst of bird calls, and immediately had an ominous premonition. The corners of his mouth twitched. Damn, it can't be such a coincidence. Li Taihang turned his head with some difficulty, and his eyes widened instantly.